Hi, my name is Mohammed Jamal, and I'm gonna teach you about abstraction and higher order functions in JavaScript. Abstraction is one of the fundamental concepts in computer science, and at its very basic, it's about hiding details for you to focus more on the big picture of how things should relate to each other rather than the specific details of how they are internally created. Functions, and higher order functions in particular, are a manifestation of that in JavaScript. So instead of writing consecutive lines of code, you wrap a bunch of lines of code in a function, you give it a name, and you think about how to incorporate these functions together and how they relate to each other to serve the goal of your software application rather than the underlying functionality of each individual function. Not just making it easier to read, but also making it easier to maintain. You could also move to a higher level of abstraction with object-oriented programming, with every object having its own properties and functions or methods. You see, the higher you are in abstraction, the easier it is for you to think about the application and approach the goal of your software application, making it even easier to handle and maintain. And while functions are a good way to build abstractions, sometimes they fall short, and that's when higher order functions come into play. Any function that either returns a function or defines a function as one of its parameters is a higher order function. Higher order functions allow us to abstract over actions, not just values. So they create new functions, they change other functions, and they provide new types of control flow. And if you're just starting to learn JavaScript, you've probably used one of them. Every time you use methods like map, for each, reduce, and filter, you've already used a higher order functions. They abstract for you basic functionalities like looping over the elements of an array for you to focus more on what to do with the elements of the array rather than focusing or caring how to loop over the array of the elements of the array. So you focus more on the functionality rather than the implementation, the underlying implementation of these looping functionalities. So long story short, abstraction with functions, higher order functions, and object-oriented programming is a fundamental concept for you to learn as a JavaScript developer. Not just to write a better code, but to make your application easier to approach and maintain. Thank you.